Hey guys, this is Rick coming at you with Weed to No Basis, the podcast for all things cannabis business related. Are you an entrepreneur? Have something you wanted to create, something you wanted to bring to life in the cannabis industry? Maybe you've always wanted to partake in one of the biggest industries in modern day history. This is the podcast to listen to. Hey y'all, it's Rick and we're back. Weed to No Basis. This is episode 2. And as usual, we're coming from my real and raw office right here. Like so real and raw, there's pictures of my dad on my wall back here. So, but the reason why I have pictures in my office, guys, and if you watch movies or see TV shows and you see somebody's desk, they always have a picture of their family or it's behind them of their wife, because it keeps us grounded. It keeps us grounded and lets us know that there's a bigger reason why we do the things we do. And call it selfless, but the reason why I do the things I do is for my family, my shareholders. So sometimes we hear the word shareholders and we think of big bad corporations, but truly guys, my shareholders are my wife and my kids and my family, and they're my driving force. So you're here in my office, and this is episode 2 of Weed to No Basis. And last episode I touched really about me, honestly, because you need to know, why the hell should I listen to this guy? And today I'm going to talk about the most important question. Like, this is the question I get over and over and over, guys. And I'm going to pull back the sheets. Like, some of you are going to be you might get your shorts in a wad over what you're going to hear, but still, we're going to be short, we're going to be sweet, we're going to be to the point. And by all means, remember, if you have any questions, you can always hit us up at weedtonobasis.com. So, the question, how do I get started? If I had $1, or if I had a dime for every time I was asked that question, guys, I'd be on an island right now. I kid you not. It's probably the most important, critical, and pivotal question, but it's also the simplest to answer. And again, brace yourself, because you may hear something you're not going to like, and if you don't like it, it's probably true. But stay tuned. How do I get started, Rick? It's in Instagram. I'll get tweets, I will get Facebook messages, I will get emails, and if you're if you're known in the industry or somebody or you're a go-to, then you likely have had this question. And here's my answer. So this comes from experience, okay? I was getting the question so much that we would schedule either quick phone calls or we would meet in person, especially if you're here in Texas. And I'm very open with my time. But after the 1700th time I received this question of, how do I get started? I then started asking, well, what do you know about the industry? And when somebody said, well, not really that much, I had to kind of rewind. And so here's my first answer to almost everybody, guys. How do I get started? Is I always say, do you know what Barnes & Noble is? And I tell people, guys, I say this with love and respect, but have you heard of Barnes & Noble? And 9.9 out of 10 people say, yes, I have. And I said, is there one in your hometown? And they said, yes, there is. And I say, go there. Go to Barnes & Noble. I kid you not. And I want you to go to the magazine section, and I want you to sit down there, or I want you to go grab every single one of the cannabis, marijuana, weed, hemp magazines on the rack and buy them. And if somebody says, well, I don't have the money to buy them, I get that. Then I say, then sit your ass down and read them. Sit down and read every single magazine at the Barnes & Noble section. The reason why I don't say go to the book section is because there aren't a lot of books yet on the business of cannabis. There's not. But here's what happens when you sit down at a Barnes & Noble or you grab the magazines and you read them cover to cover, like even the ads, is suddenly your mind is blown. I kid you not. You see, because most people think of the industry as growing weed or selling weed. And it's so much more than that. So the question, how do I get started? The real question is, what is it you want to do? What is it you want to do? Because most people have a preconceived notion of you grow it or you sell it. In other words, you become a farmer, agriculture, or you open a retail, a dispensary, or a store, e-commerce or otherwise. And in my opinion, guys, that's a very myopic view. And also, in my opinion, it's a wonderful thing for entrepreneurs who are in the industry, because there's a lot of people who want to get in who don't know what to get into. So how do I get started? First thing is go to Barnes & Noble. I kid you not, guys. Go to Barnes & Noble. I don't say google.com because there's so much disinformation out there. It's hard to disseminate it. It really is. It's a scary thing. There's so much information out there, guys. And if you're very new to the industry, you likely don't know what's right or what's wrong. Make sense? So that's why I'm like, go to Barnes & Noble, grab all the magazines. You're going to find High Times. You're going to find Marijuana Business Journal. You're going to find all kinds of magazines, even Ember. Ember, I think I actually have a copy here somewhere, but Ember. And read them cover to cover, guys. And again, even the ads, all the things, read who the people are. I even like to, guys, I'm kidding you not, I even see who the publishers are. Where they're from, where the magazine comes from, and all these things. I read about the edible manufacturers, about the extraction folks. I read about the legal side of it, about all these things. And even if it doesn't interest you, you're going to see the vastness of the industry. How do I get started? Step 1, go to Barnes & Noble. So guys, I kid you not. Step 2, then I'm happy to talk. Honestly. Because then you will have empowered yourself with at least a basis of knowledge. You will then at least understand, okay, there's a distinction between getting into the CBD or hemp side and getting into the marijuana side. The distinction could be the sheer amount of money and time that one has to invest. So there's a lot of things you're going to learn from reading those things. But I got to say, guys, is when folks make themselves readily available to you, whether it's through their time or through their resources, come to the table empowered. That's really the message here. Come to the table empowered. Don't come to the proverbial table and say, well, I really am not quite sure what CBD is. Oh my God, guys, that's a soul crusher. And it's something I learned the hard way after about my 10th sit down or coffee meeting or can I pick your brain phone call when they said, so what is CBD? Oh my God, guys, it was so painful. Guys, and I told you I was going to be real, and if that really torqued you, if that got your shorts in a wad, then it probably hit home. Empower yourself, guys. There is so much resources out there. The first one, take it from me, the expert, go to Barnes & Noble first. If you don't have a Barnes & Noble in town, go to barnesandnoble.com and look at the magazines, guys. All I'm saying is take the initiative, empower yourself, learn as much as you can, then go seek out the experts, then go to the conferences, and that goes to step 2. What now, Rick? So let's just say you heard this podcast and maybe we can't grab a phone call or you're not quite sure who to tap into, then find a conference. Seriously, guys, you can go to a conference in Vegas, in New Orleans, in New York, in Alabama, in Texas, in Iowa, around the cannabis industry. There are so many conferences nowadays, guys. In fact, now you can probably even find a great podcast that talks about stuff like this. like weed to no basis. Guys, information is out there and it's readily available. So step 1, go to Barnes & Noble. Step 2, find a conference. Step 3, listen to Weed to No Basis. I'm serious. You're going to get the no-shitter from us. You're going to get the no-shitter, trust, transparency. Plus, I'm a nurse. Everybody loves a nurse. Ask my wife. But seriously, guys, how do I get started, guys? I just gave you the 2 things you should absolutely do. And those 2 things will keep you busy for a while because you don't want to get into this industry and be one of those people who drags us down. You want to get into this industry and have a basis of empowerment, a basis of knowledge, to understand at least the path you want to take. And of course, guys, step 3 is listen to Weed to No Basis. Really appreciate your time today. Hang tight, guys. We're coming at you with episodes 3, 4, 5, 6, and beyond with the straight truth from a straight shooter from Rick. Guys, Weed to No Basis, tune in. Thanks so much. Have an awesome rest of the day or evening. Peace.